Look, ruining dreams under pressure. Peachy B the one to bless ya, but don't test her. The queen reigns supreme, you know what I mean? Add the boy Breezie, Prince, like a king. When the two come together in any weather, they form a bond, stay tight in any measure. So it's my pleasure, the number one team. Let the world know what's your fantasy. What's going on? What's your fantasy? And we back in the place to be, the one and only Crystal Peachy B and your boy Breezie. What's going on, Peachy?
What's going on, man?
I was finally going through my fantasy teams, all 35 of them, and it's a bye week, and so I'm set to lose just about every team, every league this week. So I got to figure some stuff out because for some reason they keep making me last on the waiver wire, Peachy. So it's like I can't grab the players that I want to get.
Wow.
Yeah, you sound like so.
Yeah,
like
because I had like the worst fantasy week thanks to Joseph Burrow and company. Cost me quite a few games this week.
I can't start him anymore. I was just like over it. I know before the show, Breezie's over here trying to put his leagues together. I haven't even looked at mine. Like, I don't even care right now. Like, I'm so mad. I'm so mad at how many leagues I lost. I've not lost that many leagues since I first started doing fantasy football. It was just J-Dog. This is funny because he's like, come on, bro, what's good with the stars? And I'm like, what's wrong with the star? And then I realize it's the week of the star. We don't like the star this week. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. We're playing the Cowboys. I got you, J-Dog in Boston. What's going on, fam? Shout out to the Breezie Bunch crew. They in the building. Jax Doc's in the building. Hey, Wayne and Peach, have a great show. Thank you, Jax. We appreciate you. Boss was cracking, Niner family. What's going on? Christy Marie's in the building. Halfway through the Boss show, Dallas fans so funky talking about why you in our chat. Obviously, because Breezie wasn't live on the shot. Like it don't click. That's how they gonna play on Sunday too. Mike and Kim Travel Buzz 710 with the hashtag BB says good afternoon. Peachy, we got to get through this fantasy show. A lot of players. We got to kind of sit there, talk about, break down, all that good stuff. I can't wait to get your takes on some of the things that's going down. We got the injuries we got to get through. But before we do that, guys, make sure you like, make sure comment. Make sure you leave a comment. If you're going to watch the show a little bit later on, leave a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Let us know a certain take or whatever. We love to respond to that. If you're new to the stream, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit it. Just like that, right? It'll make that sound when you hit it, I hope. And if you want to help support the channel, go ahead and join the Breezie Bunch crew. Just click on that join button. Help support the stream so that we can bring you top-notch quality each and every single day. All right, Peachy. I like this little ticker you got. Welcome back. Oh my! Wait a minute. Cooper Kupp's coming back too?
yes. Cooper Kupp practiced today, and he will be back. Thank goodness, because regardless of how I feel about Cooper Kupp, for fantasy-wise, I need Cooper Kupp. I need Cooper Kupp into leagues bad. And Jonathan Taylor, oh my God, I'm so excited because he's going to be playing and he's looking forward to playing. And it's just going to help my league so much to have those two. Jonathan Taylor and CMC, I'm just floating on air right now.
Did you hear my exploitives?
Yes.
This is one league, right?
Uh-huh.
I think it's in the nitty gritty. Shut up, Wayne. Don't even say it. I'm not even gonna say it. Matter of fact, he's watching the show. I can't. Nothing I could do about it. I was already getting beat by 5 projected. Now he's gonna beat by 55.
Yep.
Well, guess who else is coming back this week? He practiced too.
Oh, did I miss somebody? Who's come back?
I mean, well, it's not like he had like a serious injury, but Saquon Barkley will be back this week.
Oh, okay. All right.
So does that change up like the Giants situation?
I mean, I hope so because dang.
See how he talking trash already, Peach? You see what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
apologized to you, but he's apologizing to me in advance because he already knows I'm about to get thrashed, and it's probably be because of my quarterback situation that I have.
Which is very bleak, but so is mine. So you know
I'll
what I'm
say it for you,
saying.
Peachy. Hold on. Here we go. See, we don't even have to do the bad words anymore. This whole
Right.
time, I was trying to blank out my bad
You're
words.
right. And all
I
you
gotta
to do
just
is
go.
just hit that at the same time.
There it is. There it is.
No.
We start the shows off with a question. We have Cynthia. Cynthia, listen, you're going to be out there. I'll see you at the video shoot this weekend.
Yes, sis.
All right. Should I sit Tony Pollard in fantasy? That's a good question. Playing the Niners. I am.
I would. I'm just saying.
I'm sitting him.
Just and that goes for not just 49ers, you know, like whatever, like everyone. For fantasy, I would not play a Dallas Cowboy running back. I just wouldn't do it.
Well, I would play him if they weren't playing the Niners.
I know. I'm talking about this week because we're talking about this week. I'm saying like I would sit him. I would not play. I wouldn't start a Dallas Cowboy running back this week.
Oh, you mean all? Okay, yeah,
right.
Like, but like for Tony Pollard, for me, he's a no go. I'm trying to find a way to put him on my bench. I may not be able to, but I'm trying my hardest. To find a way to get him on the bench. The Niners they don't give up many rushing touchdowns, period. And on top of that, you're not going to get the rushing yards. And on top of that, I mean, James Conner ran over the Cowboys. And what did he do against the Niners? He never got into the end zone, right? So I don't expect Tony Pollard to. Now, there is a possibility he'll catch one and get in. But what's 6 points? I mean, you got to be careful.
So I'm just letting you know that my advice would be to sit him if you can. If you don't have any choice but to play him, then of course, you know, have a choice. But he's definitely on most starts and sits that I've seen. He's on there because of what the stats show so far against the 49ers with running backs. So, we're trying to tell you.
All right. We started the show off with a question. I like it. It's like no format to this show. So, guys, ask away. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about, before that, Miss Debbie says, hey, Crystal and Wayne, what's your fantasy today? Blessing to everyone joining the show so you can be in the know. All right. She got a little rhyming scheme going on there. She's a poet and didn't even know it. I like that. Go ahead, Miss Debbie.
I know.
Let's talk about these injuries. People need to pay attention to what's going on. There are several players injured. Go ahead, Peachy. Let's talk about them. Tre'Davious White out for the season. Don't give me that Kyron Williams bull crap. I didn't know. I'm not worried about those injuries. But the out for the season one, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, so we had that one. Ramondre Stevenson, Amon-Ra St. Brown with the abdomen. That is being monitored closely. And Dawson Knox, the quad, is also being monitored very closely too.
Okay.
So if you can, for the Dawson Knox one and the Amon-Ra St. Brown, definitely pay attention to both of those closely. Just, follow them and, make sure that they're good to go because all the fantasy thing said was monitored very closely. That's what it had in parentheses.
All right. Well, monitor it closely. He did play last week. Right. Hasn't been as explosive as he was in weeks 1 and 2.
Exactly.
So you definitely may want to pay attention to that. Kyron Williams with the hip injury. Dang, that sucks. Deebo Samuel, we know, has a knee injury.
Yeah.
Was limited in practice today. Ramondre Stevenson, thigh injury. Oh, my gosh. Derek Carr played last week, right?
Derek Carr did play.
He didn't look good, but he played.
Last week. So they are checking him out because he didn't look good last week. It's a possibility that he may sit.
which means you may want to pick up Jameis Winston. Mm-hmm. So you got to pay attention to the injuries to Derek Carr or whatnot. Because if you need a quarterback, like Breezie needs a quarterback, you're going to want to pick up Jameis finger-licking Winston. That's going to be crazy. J-Dog, yes, I will be at the game. And, yeah, so I'll be out there for sure. These injuries, I mean, it's football. Like, what do you do? Like, you have to pay attention to the injuries. Yeah. You got to pay attention to the waiver wire. The waiver wire is hella important. Speaking of waiver wire, let's see if there are any leaders on the waiver. Now, I was going to call him Javonte Williams is also on the injury report. I'm not sure how severe his injury is, but you want to pick up if you know, we have the waiver wire picks up here. Right yes, there. We do. Let's go right to it. You're going to want to look to pick up Jaleel McLaughlin. I hope I said that right. All right, make sure you pick him up. I don't know if Jameson Williams is on the waiver, but get him. Michael Wilson, Chuba Hubbard. Wait, what happened to Miles Sanders? Is he injured?
He's another one that's monitored very closely. They said that it would definitely behoove people to pick up Chuba Hubbard because they're not too confident about Miles Sanders. Yeah, it's one of those days, guys. You guys have got to understand that. We are so dedicated to fantasy, and it is like a funeral or depression around here because we're noticing that fantasy leagues are being destroyed by our eyes.
Starting running back. Had a great first time. Week 1.
Oh, goodness.
And now all of a sudden, I'm just gonna I'm gonna do the show with my Zennies. That's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna rock out like this with the Zennies. I can't. Guys, if you want some Zennies, go click on the link in the description of the show.
Right. Go get some. So some other popular guys that are gonna be on the waiver are Justice Hill and Gus Edwards. Because the running back situation there in Baltimore, we know is really crazy. Kenneth Gainwell is also one that is on the waiver wire. And then just the ones that we talked about from last week that are still available on the waiver wire as well. Joshua Kelly, Josh Palmer, Quentin Johnson, Tate Dell, Elijah Moore, Matt Breida, Tajay Spears, Jameis Winston, like Breezie was talking about earlier. CJ Stroud is still available in quite a few. Marvin Mims, Romeo Dobbs, Jaden Reed, Calvin Austin III. So those are just guys.
Pick up Mims and Reed for sure. On.
Absolutely.
If you can get Mims, if you need a wide receiver and you can get Mims, if he's still available, it's the rookie out in Denver. Or if you can get the rookie in Green Bay, you better go ahead and scoop them suckers up real quick.
That is right.
Joshua Kelly, I mean, the Chargers are on a bye. Let's get to the bye. Guys, it's week 5, so the byes have officially started. We got the Cleveland Browns, the LA Chargers, the Seahawks, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on byes this week. All right, so you definitely you want to make sure that you're looking at your roster and you get those guys out because they will. If you're playing me, don't look at your roster, just leave them in. But if you're not playing me, make sure you fix that. All right.
Yes, pay attention to your rosters. The bye weeks are starting, and that's when fantasy becomes so important for you to really pay attention to because you don't want to get caught slipping having a bunch of players that are on a bye week and trying to figure out like what happened to my league or whatever. Facts. So you have to make sure that you do that. Also, safe travels to anyone who's traveling to California. Breezie will be traveling tomorrow. Terradome will be traveling tomorrow. I think there's like about 8 more people that I talked to today that are going to be traveling tomorrow. So between now and Saturday and even Sunday morning for people that are traveling, just want to give you traveling grace and say that I want everybody to make it there safely there and back and to have a great time this weekend. Have a fun time because this is huge. This is major. This is the Cowboys. This is a rivalry. And so, you know, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. And I wish I was there, but I'm rooting on everybody to just scream as loud as you can at Levi's, because we're going to need it. We are going to need the fans there. And there's a lot of fans going, and I'm happy because I know it's just going to be roaring loud. We just need it as loud as possible for our guys so we can pull out this win. That's what we need.
Let's talk about these teams that are on the buys. Like, let's say if you had the Cleveland Browns defense, you're going to need a defense.
Yep.
Which defenses are still available on that waiver wire? If you had Cleveland, Chargers, Seattle, Tampa, that's 4 defenses that are no longer available. Who would you recommend?
That'll be left on the waiver wire?
That are probably still out there just chilling in the pool, swimming. I would go, look, if the Commanders defense,
yeah, definitely.
This is tough.
If the Commanders defense playing against Chicago, if the Commanders defense is available, that would definitely be the top defense that would probably be available on the waiver wire, because none of your top defenses are going to be available.
You got the Commanders versus the Bears, Peachy, but then you got the Lions versus the Panthers. So you got 2 0-4 teams. It's got to be one of those 2 defenses. The Lions defense is stacked from the secondary, the front. The Panthers were able to score last week. They just didn't win.
Right.
I don't know. I may take the Lions defense. I don't think a lot of people have those defenses out there. What are your thoughts?
That sounds good to me. I mean, the Commanders, the Lions. I was trying to think of another one that might be good.
Joe East says Miami. Now, I put an asterisk there because Miami's defense hasn't looked good. You saw what Buffalo did. Now, I know they're playing the Giants, but they're going to get Barkley back. That's different. So like, look, I know Daniel Jones is. I'm surprised Daniel Jones wasn't the worst quarterback last week. There was actually a quarterback worse than Daniel Jones, and his name is Joe Burrow. But I'm saying that to say Daniel Jones potentially is going to get his running back, which changes up a lot for Daniel Jones. Now he'll be able to run the ball. Daniel Jones could probably go back to doing some of those quarterback runs. So they may be able to play, and might add, the Giants play so much better on the road. I don't get it.
For some reason.
I don't understand it.
Right.
But that's what it is. They struggled at home. They only scored 3 points at home and scored double-digit points on the road. So I don't know if I would take Miami's defense against the Giants. But listen, if you're bold and you don't believe Saquon Barkley is going to play with the vengeance, be my guest. But them first 2 defenses we talked about, I think I would pick up the Lions or the Commanders.
Yep.
And if listen, let me ask you this. Justin Fields or Bryce Young?
I would actually assume.
Who are you more afraid of is what I'm trying to say. My bad. I meant to ask that question.
I'm more afraid of Fields because when he plays, it's so unpredictable. You don't know like what they're going to allow him to do. There's so much going on in Chicago. If they allow him to just conduct the offense the way that he did against Denver, and he was able to, keep it rolling at Fields. One, Bryce Young, I'm just going to say this. I don't know if that kid's going to make it.
He
gets
I know. We was watching it
so
together.
Much.
I know. Poor kid.
I know that poor dude, man. He just is having a wow. Yeah.
Poor kid.
So it would be Fields because, like I said, if Fields is able to go out there and do the things that he does, then yeah.
All right. Hurricane 774 says Texans over the Falcons. I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't. I like the Texans. I like what we've seen from them. I know the Falcons look like they struggle, but they were over in England. They're going to be back home. This is a tough one too. I don't know. I would stay away from these two. This defense because I don't know which Falcons team you're going to get.
Right. You just never know. And something else though, just like Breezie just brought up a great point. Some teams just play different when they're overseas. For some reason, it's weird. You have teams that usually do pretty well that struggle, overseas, and it just doesn't look the same. So I would that's just one of those things where I don't know. I just don't know. So the waiver wire recommendations are the Commanders, like we talked about, and the Colts.
The Colts.
Mm-hmm.
The Colts are playing the Titans. See that? Nah, that's a divisional game. Why? I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't pick the Colts defense. Not against the Titans. And I know people like, oh, the Titans, they trash, they stink, whatever. Nah, they're weird too. They're weird too. And if Derrick Henry is bowling over them Colts,
right,
or throwing touchdown passes, you're gonna be mad you picked the Colts.
Which is what they warn you about, but what they're saying is it's such slim pickings on the waiver wire that somebody may not have a choice. Like they may have to, this is what happens.
Who else is on that waiver
wire
though? Like who else do they have on there?
All the ones that we name. The Lions, the Colts, and the Commanders.
I feel like the Lions are available because no one thinks of the Lions, but their defense is playing pretty well.
Yeah.
At least you're going to get sacks, interceptions, so you get some points there. You might not get a return. I'm not sure what you get from the Colts. The Colts do got a great defensive front.
Mm-hmm.
They did start off the season high, but I don't know. It's tough, man. You're gonna like me. You're gonna need defense. I don't carry two defenses, so.
But there are a lot of greedy people that do, and that's why it makes it hard for to find a decent defense on the waiver wire. Whenever people are greedy off of a defense, and when they draft two.
Okay.
Two defenses.
Listen, some people feel like it's that's sometimes some of their strategy though.
Mm-hmm.
That's their strategy. So I'm not mad at them for that. You know what I mean? But for me, I just feel like I'll play the waiver wire for the defense. You know what I'm saying? That's me. And so now I'm struggling on the waiver wire.
They also like Denver just for this week.
Hell nah. Mm-mm.
Playing against the Jets.
Mm-mm. Did you see what the Jets did to the Chiefs? I done played myself. I picked the Chiefs defense last week because they were playing against the Jets. You know how many points I scored? Right. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. I don't trust the Jets. I don't know which Jets are going to show up. I do know that Denver gave up, 28 points to the Bears?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't set yourself. Matter of fact, if you're playing against me, please pick up the Denver Broncos defense. Please. I beggeth thee. All right, so those are your teams on the week 5 by Peachy. Let's go over some of these fantasy football leading scores, the top 10 leading scores. You got to start number 1, Christian McCaffrey, 41.7 points. Josh Allen, 36.5. Listen, I don't know if David Montgomery is available in your leagues, but if he is and you don't pick him up by now, please smack yourself for me.
Lord.
I tried, Peachy. He was on the waiver. I seen him, but other people saw him too. So
I don't know what's going on with Jahmyr Gibbs.
I don't know.
No one knows. I know that Detroit has angered a lot of people because they thought that Gibbs was going to be the guy. Apparently, when Montgomery's healthy, Montgomery is the guy.
Even when he's not, and that's the funny thing, because even when Montgomery wasn't healthy, they weren't even trying to get Gibbs involved.
That's a good point.
So it's like, why'd you draft this kid?
Right.
Why'd you even draft him where you drafted? I won't understand it. They could have went so many different ways. They went that way.
Mm-hmm.
shout out to the Lions. They do get what's his name? Jameson Williams. They do get him back.
Yes.
So that might help it boost their offense up. And they get an offensive lineman back, I believe, as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that might help boost their offense up as well. Seattle Seahawks defense scored 30 points. Stephon Diggs was number 5. Anthony Richardson was number 6. Peachy, I'm struggling with starting Anthony Richardson or Patrick Mahomes. That's the struggle I'm having this week. You got Anthony Richardson versus the Titans defense and Patrick Mahomes versus the Vikings defense. I know you're going to say Patrick Mahomes, but he don't look like the Patrick Mahomes I know.
Nope. Does not.
So what do I do?
Oh. We just have to hope that Pat Mahomes gets together. Oh, Breezie, I have some gossip that was on TMZ that has to do with the Chiefs. Did you know that Travis Kelce did not stay in the team hotel the night before the game?
So are you trying to say that's why he sucked on
yes.
Sunday night?
That is what a lot of people believe. That is why he sucked, because he was tired because he stayed somewhere else instead of staying at the team hotel.
I mean, his quarterback sucked too. That ain't his fault. So, like, I don't know. It could be. Hey, I know that the Chiefs, it just seemed like that tandem of Kelce and Mahomes is dying out. Like, the flame is dying out. I don't know.
It's just because, but it's only because teams, like, expect that to be the connection. And now it's like when you have it for so long and they know that's the first target that they're going to try to stop. They're going to try to stop that now. And like I said, I think I said it on Nitty Gritty. He's got to, or on the NFL show, Mahomes has got to find somebody else to.
He tried, Peachy. He tried,
but he's got to do it.
He can't say he got to do it when he's throwing the ball and they tip it and then go an interception and it goes to the other person and the trust isn't there.
And then
it's
he
clearly
needs
not there.
to practice with them like a whole lot instead
of doing a whole lot of practice that Mahomes can do once the season started. Ain't like they can go and work together outside. They got to rest. They got to do all that stuff. They got to prepare for a game. It's just his weapons aren't his weapons. This is or who was their offensive coordinator last year?
Bieniemy.
He ain't there no more.
Nope. But they said they didn't need him because it was all Andy Reid.
Apparently they need Eric Bieniemy.
Which is my whole point, was what I'm saying, is everybody wanted to say all this was Andy Reid. Well, how come Bieniemy leaves and the only thing that is trying to work, that works sometimes, is Mahomes to Kelce? And that's the only thing that halfway works. And when I say I mean halfway. If you guys watch their connection, it's not even the same like it was before. And it's like you're the NFL superstar, man. You're gonna have to figure out something, because teams are starting to press against that. Starting to get a little bit more slick with Travis Kelce.
They getting, not just that, they're getting pressure on Mahomes.
Yep.
They're forcing Mahomes to look different. Like, Mahomes can't throw on the run anymore. His ad-libbing is different.
That's right.
And I'm saying all this stuff because I'm trying to figure out, do I bench him? Do I trade him? I'm not cutting him. I'm not an idiot. I don't know what to do. Like, these quarterbacks, him, Jalen Hurts, like, come back to me.
Right.
Please come back to me. Like, I need him.
Absolutely.
Fantasy is struggling, but Anthony Richardson is balling, putting up points. A.J. Brown, though. I just talked about Hurts, but A.J., please, Jalen Hurts, just give A.J. Brown a damn ball.
That's
just give him the ball.
God. Yes.
Give him the ball. Nico Collins is on this list. This is the second time he's been on this list, and the Houston Texans do better when they're giving him the ball. So Nico Collins may be turning into a top-tier fantasy wide receiver. Let's see if they can keep it consistent. Let's see if that happens. But I know he not on. I know he not on anybody's waivers by now. This is the second time. Justin Fields, who I skipped over, didn't mean to, had the best game of his career against the Denver Broncos. 28.9 points, Peachy, and then Lamar Jackson at 28.1. They still don't have a running game over in Baltimore. But if you got Mark Andrews, you should be smiling because they're finally building their connection back. It took a few weeks, but I think Andrews, I think they're getting it back. All right?
They are.
But before we get into anything else, we had a couple of comments I saw. I don't know how to say that. Is it Jamesi? 45. Should I trade away Dameon Pierce, Deontay, and Achane? See, it threw me off when they tried to give you 2 Atlanta Falcon running backs. But I don't know if I would do this. Peachy, what do you think? He wants to know if he should trade Dameon Pierce, Deontay Johnson, who's injured, and Devon Achane for Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier.
No. Absolutely not. No. No.
Yeah, like for me, this is tough, man. As much as I love Bijan Robinson,
no.
I think the Houston Texans finally realized they got to give Dameon Pierce the ball.
Right.
If anything, you're going to give up that, and then I think now you start Achane. I 2 touchdowns last week. He still scored a bunch of points.
Yes.
In fantasy. They just got to get him the ball. He's a great running back with vision, and you got it. So I might start him in my lineup if you have him. And then when Deontay Johnson comes back, this could be a reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers are struggling a lot. They just don't have their chain mover. They don't have the guy that they could count on.
Right.
He's been injured. Unfortunately, he played the 49ers week 1 and ain't been right ever since. But, that's what happens when you get the good D. Pause.
What's going to happen soon is as the football season goes on, as you guys know, and the weather changes and it gets colder and everything like that. That is when the running back, like most running backs will pick up because the teams will rely more on the run game as, the season wears on and it gets so I would not do that. Dameon Pierce, I believe that the Texans have figured out that they're going to need more production from him in order to, allow CJ to get to his playmakers and everything easier. So I definitely would not do that. Plus, in Atlanta, you never know what is going to happen in Atlanta. Bijan has one good week, and then he has a crappy week. And then he has one good week, and then whatever. And that's because of what they have going on that offense as far as how they are constructed that offense. So I would not do it. I would definitely keep Pierce. Even though Deontay's hurt, he will be back. And Achane is probably going to be starting soon. So I would definitely hold on to those.
Yeah. It's a no for me. But it sucks because I want Bijan Robinson on my team. He's going to get you almost 10 points each and every week just off of how him getting 100 rushing yards. But if they're not able to get into the end zone, it's tough. And you get Dameon Pierce down by the goal line 2 or 3 times, I'll take 18 points over 10 points any day.
Absolutely.
And then Achane again, you're going to get the touchdown. So that I would hold on to those players, all right? We got some more questions. Start 1, flex. 2 running backs, Josh Jacobs, Khalil Herbert, Ramondre Stevenson, and I'm trying to think of Garrett Wilson or who's that?
Christian Watson
or T. Higgins. Higgins scares me with his injury, and Joe Burrow's ain't it right
T.
now.
Higgins is probably about to get traded anyway, because
he might go to the Chiefs. That might be a good spot for him.
Because it seems like that his relationship with Cincinnati has soured, and it seems like that he is trying to get out of there, and I think they're going to oblige him and let him do that. So T. Higgins is going to be somewhere else like really soon anyway.
Okay. So start one flex. Those are his running backs. Josh Jacobs is starting to churn up.
Yeah, he is.
Ramondre Stevenson, to me, is starting to go down. Garrett Wilson is a wide receiver 1. I don't know why he's in anybody's flex. I know he's not getting wide receiver 1 numbers, though.
Right. Because of the quarterback.
It's because of the quarterback. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's definitely because of the quarterback. Yeah. So that's an interesting big win. 0-2. It's tough, right? It's a tough call. Like for me, Wilson. If Wilson is on my team, then it depends on who your wide receivers are.
Yeah.
So if you got stock wide receivers, you might want to go with Wilson or Jacobs in that flex.
Right.
I would go with Wilson or Josh Jacobs in the flex.
Yep. I agree.
Let's see what else we got. We got a few things. Daniel says pick 2 to start: Pollard, James Cook, DeAndre Swift, or
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. All right, you pick your 2. I'll pick my 2. But you gotta say why.
I mean, if Aaron Jones is healthy, you definitely want to start Aaron Jones.
Okay.
Because that's what Green Bay relies on. Like that. That's the one that is going to get the carries. That's the one that's going to get in the end zone is going to be Aaron Jones. So that would be one that I would start. And the next one that I would go with is, I don't know who Buffalo has this week. Shoot.
Buffalo has the Jaguars over in England.
Oh, I would go with James Cook. I think that he's going to have he's gonna have a field day. That's one thing over there that I noticed also from the last game. The running backs, they run the football.
I like Jones as well. He's their running back 1. They just gotta play him, but I know they're worried about his injuries. He's coming back off the injury. I think last week we were watching the game and I was saying to myself, is he even playing? Even though he was active and he didn't come into like the second half. But you saw them kind of like spur themselves back together. So if Jordan Love could get a successful run game going with Aaron Jones, that makes Green Bay that much more dangerous. It opens up the play action pass. Obviously, that's what coaches want to do with their quarterbacks. And get the ball down the field some. So Jones will be my 1, but Swift would be my 2. The only thing about Swift is I don't understand Philadelphia. When a player goes out, Peachy, and rushes for like 200-something yards in one game or whatever what the number was, 189, I don't remember. Yep. He's starting. That's it. Right. He's the guy, whoever else it is, you can take a back seat.
Right, exactly.
You can sit in the back of the bus. But they don't think like that. Mm-mm. I saw too much of Kenneth Gainwell last week, and I'm saying to myself, what in the... Hold on.
That's right.
Are they thinking? It made 0 sense.
Right.
Feed this man the ball. He's clearly your running back 1. You just got to get him the ball. So they're playing the Rams. You could run on the Rams. Christian McCaffrey ran on the Rams. I'm not saying DeAndre Swift is Christian McCaffrey, but I feel like they could run on the Rams, Peachy. Those would be my 2. Pollard, I don't like the matchup with the 49ers defense. For me, James Cook just ain't it. And I don't know if it's because of Buffalo and the way that they utilize running backs, but they also use a plethora of guys too, like Harris, Cooks, Murray. So it's like if James Cook doesn't get a good run and then break it for a touchdown, they get to the end zone. You know who's getting the touchdown? It's either going to be Josh Allen or Latavius Murray.
Gotcha.
So plus the Jaguars they're pretty solid up front. I don't really like that matchup either. Big Win's back. He says, should I trade Achane and Puka for Chase and Javonte? You sound like you're thinking about it.
No, I'm not thinking about it.
Would you?
No.
Yeah.
Are they saying that they have
no, they're saying should a trade should because it says should a trade, but I believe they mean should I trade Achan.
So that means that they have Achan and Puka.
And Puka. Nah, you can't give up on those.
No.
Even with Cooper Kupp coming back.
No, yeah.
Puka's like, yeah, he has the most receptions in the league right now.
Yeah, their coach, Sean McVay. Yeah, what is it? Sean Payton. I forgot he's in the league too. Sean McVay was actually talking kind of a little bit about that, and would that change anything that was going with Kupp being back? And he's talking about, no, that's going to be great for, both of them. And for Kupp, coming back off of injury, to still have Puka, Puka's still going to get his numbers. That's what McVay was pretty much saying. Like that's not, yeah.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't do that trade.
No.
Not at all.
Nope.
January start 3, Ayuk, Collins, Chase, C.J. Watson. I don't know which Watson. Christian Watson. Who's Collins?
Nico Collins.
Damn, you got all of them? Wait a minute. You got Chase, Ayuk, Collins. You got lucky with because we didn't know,
right?
And you were able to get Watson. Do you do a 3 wide receiver league or 2 wide receiver league and a flex? Just curious. Because if I did start 3, no, he's saying put 3 of them in there. Oh, it's IU, Collins, and Chase all day.
Yeah.
The most productive wide receivers in the league right now.
For me too.
Maybe not Chase, but like you got to start Chase every week. You start Chase unless
you
he's
just
injured.
have right because you just
every week. I don't care. I wish Burrow would sit down and let some other quarterback come in there and just feed Chase. That's what we need. That's why Chase don't want Burrow to play. Chase wants the damn ball. Thank you, Daniel. That's what's really going on.
And that is what he was. And it's so crazy because the Burrow to Chase was just always automatic. And it was so fun while it lasted.
Okay.
It was. It was so fun.
You're right. Mike and Kim says, who do I want him to start this week? Please start Justin Fields.
Right.
Don't start Brock Purdy because I don't want to get beat by Brock Purdy. Like, I won't even have fun this week. Put Justin Fields in there, please. He'll probably play well. No?
It'll be that week when
because you're playing me, it'll be the week that he put up 40-something plus, and then I turn to the TV screen, and guess who's throwing the touchdown to DJ Moore? It's like confirmation, bro. It's like confirmation.
I literally set all of my Bears players, and they just, I was like, I can't win. Can't win. There is no winning.
To those that were watching, Peachy, I know Jax was watching, Rome the Upsetter. If you were watching the Boss Cowboys show, I was on there doing a preview show with the Dallas Cowboys and 49ers matchup. Listen, I do apologize for the way his moderators reacted. I don't think that they thought that any of the 49er faithful were going to join the stream, and they didn't realize how y'all hold it down. I don't think they were ready for it. And so the moment you said the D in Dallas, you were booted or blocked or timed out. Like you couldn't even say anything about your 49ers. I apologize. I did speak to him on the air when he made mention of something, and I let him know that his mods was doing that. And then he asked his mods to chill out. As long as that you guys were being respectful, it was cool. But they didn't know that y'all was going to come that deep. They didn't know y'all were going to be in the chat. And just know that I couldn't see what y'all were saying. Because if I would have saw, you thought I got fired up off of a film clip.
Yeah.
If I would have saw what y'all was saying, I would have been way more fired up.
Yeah.
So just know that. Okay,
yeah.
like it's not. I didn't know what was going on. Other than what was being told to me behind the scenes, and I had to wait for the right moment to say something. So I held it down. I held y'all down. I was like, look, man, come on. Like they here for me.
It was really interesting because after Breezie finished that, and then the No Harm No Foul show that we have that comes on at 4:00 with Mike Andrews from Nothing But Niners. One of the moderators who was blocking everybody was in the chat.
Really?
And he was literally talking. Yeah, that's what the conversation was about because.
Oh, no wonder y'all weren't paying us any attention.
He was basically like talking trash about the 49er fans that were in the chat and everything and saying, I wanted to block all of you. He told me to stop, though. He sent me this thing and told me to stop, but I wanted to block all of you. I said, but you guys have been wrecking our chats and speaking freely the whole entire time. So that's probably why
the Dallas Cowboy fans have been entering the shows and the chats.
Which is ridiculous.
This past week, they probably from his show, they be coming in there. And it's funny because I let them speak their mind freely. They say
that's what I'm saying, but I told him in the chat, though, at 4, I said, then you're soft then. If you're the one that did that, because you guys like are soft like cotton nail tissue, dude, because we weren't saying anything disrespectful. We were just talking about the game and talking trash because that's what
it's just smack talk, yo.
Right. And it's like even the freaking host was starting to kill him. And I'm like, what? Like, wow, this is not.
It was a fun experience. He was a cool dude.
It was.
Well, I can't wait to do it again, but gotta get him on my stream. I need control so I can see what's going on. I couldn't see what was going on, y'all. That's the crazy part. I couldn't see what was going on. All right. Jeff H says AR5, I believe that's Anthony Richardson, is the man. If Jonathan Taylor comes back, because I thought he was talking about Justin Timberlake, comes back. I'm just messing with you, Jeff. Sky is the limit.
Goodness.
Listen, he's practicing, full practice.
He's back.
I'm hoping he has a change of heart and wants to stick around now that he sees what he has in Anthony Richardson. But the coach got to pay him.
Too.
That's what it is, right? Like they got to pay him the money.
I know that he has had a lot of conversations with Richardson, which is very, very promising. I know they have Zach, and I get it, but he's not Jonathan Taylor. And I think that they're realizing that as good as Zach looks, and there's no offense to him at all, he's not JT whenever he's healthy. He's just not. So, and what would be awesome for them is to have both. And that way, they can spell him. As long as JT gets some touchdowns and then red zone teams, whatever, and catches the ball and does all this stuff, fantastic for me. Then you can give the rest to Zach. But I need JT to save my league. It's so messed up.
He's been chilling on my IR for the longest time. And he needs to come in and wreck some type of shop for us. Currently,
I need the duo with him and CMC. That's what I need.
Oh, wow. Ooh, that's scary.
That's what I have. That's what I'm waiting on.
All right. Bingwin02 YT. Currently 1-3. 10-man PPR. Any moves I can make for a running back 2? Lineup is Deshaun Watson. He's on a bye. Josh Jacobs, I believe that's who he's talking about. Khalil Herbert. Okay. Jamar Chase, that was his first pick. AJ Brown, you got a pretty damn good team. How are you 1-3? Oh, Watson. And Waller. Oh, Waller's got to go. Yeah. Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson, TJ Higgins, Ramondre Stevenson, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and that's another one. Chris Godwin's on a bye. Rashad White's on a bye. Jerome Ford's on a bye. You got a lot of players on a bye week, bro. Who's available in your waiver wire for running backs? There should be some guys available since you're only in a 10-man league. Yeah,
with a 10-1, you should be able to find somebody.
Peachy, what's the kid from Denver?
Oh, McLaughlin.
If you could get him, get him now.
Yeah.
If you can get McLaughlin, get him.
Up McLaughlin like right now.
Yeah, get McLaughlin like right now.
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest TJ Spears. I'm just confused how Tennessee plays their running backs.
I don't know what Tennessee's got going on.
I just need to know who else is available. We need to know who else is available. Yes, if Jimmy Garoppolo plays, that's a great. I was gonna say that. If Jimmy plays, Jacobs won't play well.
Right.
I don't think that works.
Nope.
You know why? Do you know why?
Why?
Because Jimmy can't throw the running backs.
Okay.
Part of Josh Jacobs' game is that.
Right. You are right about that.
P. Ryan is the other running back from Denver, but McLaughlin is the one you want.
McLaughlin, they are calling him a bulldog.
Oh, they all got picked up.
Oh, somebody already. Oh, got him. Have P. Ryan, Gus, and Dalvin Cook, McLaughlin. All pick. Oh, Lordy.
Yeah. You got to figure that out, or you're gonna be 1-4. It's just unfortunate because you're like some of your backups and your starters are in the bye and the positions that you need. You're not gonna find a running back too.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm gonna get thrashed this week. I need Justin Fields to turn back into the Justin Fields quarterback that I had. Like I was just complaining about Justin Fields. I need him to be that Justin Fields. Please, Justin. Don't let me down, Justin.
Awesome.
But yeah, big one. I don't know what to tell you to do, man. You gotta give me other players that are there. That's crazy. That's crazy. Travel Bud 710. We'll see you on this weekend. All right. See you this weekend at the video shoot, bro. If you gotta dip out. Thank you for tuning in, and good luck. Good luck this week. I'm gonna lose 2 in a row. Sorry. I hate losing. I started off 3-0, and then something happened. Who is my quarterback in our league, Peachy? Do you know? Let me see if I can find my quarterback. I could tell you why I'm losing once I get my daggone quarterback. Nope, that ain't it. Who is my daggone quarterback? Here it is.
Your quarterback is
it's just freaking Herbert, but he on a bye, and I gotta start I'll start Russell Wilson.
Yeah. No, I'm playing Mose. I know I'm gonna lose anyway. I can already tell by looking at my team.
Mike Evans, but that's why I lost. I lost the most because of Mike. Mike decided to get hurt because he wanted to get traded. Oh, and Debo got me like 0.9 points last week.
Yeah.
Jacoby Myers is good when Jimmy Garoppolo plays.
Mm-hmm.
This is so funny. Oh, I know why I'm struggling. I got the worst running back in the history of drafts named Austin Eckler. Don't ever draft Austin Eckler, y'all. Ever. Like, don't do it. When he plays, it's right. When he doesn't play, you hit for life. Leo.
Thanks for the comment, Leo. Starting Herbert, CMC, Montgomery, Ridley, Ayuk, Kittle, Debo in flex, Buffalo defense, and traded McPherson for Moody.
Listen. I'm going to start backwards. I love Jake Moody. You guys know that.
Mm-hmm.
But damn it, the Niners got into the red zone 5 times last week. Ain't had to kick not one field. Jake Moody got me 3 points.
Yeah.
Maybe 4, because I think that's the whatever the default is you can get as a kicker. I think that's what he got me. Now, look, we might have to kick some field goals against the Cowboys this week, so that might be
I think
cool.
It'll be different. I think that.
But you won. You won the trade. McPherson, as good as a kicker he is, 3 points? That ain't cutting it. Yeah. 3 points a week? That means their team, the Bengals' opportunities getting points, it's like 1.
Because they weren't making it. Yeah, because they weren't getting down there. And if you can't get down there to kick a field goal, then you can't.
Who's your backup quarterback, Leo? Because Herbert not playing this week. I don't know if you know. Just want to make sure. Right. I'm not playing you, so I just wanted to make sure you were good.
Right.
And then Ridley is declining, man. Oh, Trevor Lawrence is trash.
He just said that right there. He said that he's gonna bench him from Trevor Lawrence. That's his next.
Well, the good news is you'll get Trevor Lawrence and Ridley and hope that they can rekindle what they had in week 1. They did score a touchdown last week over in England, so maybe that'll work out for you. But something about Trevor Lawrence I don't like. It's something about him I'm not liking right now. He don't seem like he don't seem top. He seemed like a step above what we're seeing from Joe Burrow.
Right.
And that's low. But if he can start dialing it up, like getting the ball down, I don't know. I don't think they use ATN right. Don't get me started about the Jaguars.
Yeah.
They should have never got rid of James. What's his name? Robinson. That's the issue.
Yep. You're right.
Leo says, should he trade Trevor for Brock? I would. If you can get Brock Purdy,
yeah,
at least you'll get the efficiency points. You won't get a lot of air yards, but at least you'll get opportunities to score touchdowns. More opportunities to score touchdowns. So let's say if he gets you 4 touchdowns, just off the touchdowns, you're getting 16 points.
Right.
That's 16 points less than, I think Lawrence is averaging like 12 points a game. Something like that. It's pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
Well, Peachy, I think we gave out enough advice. I have a lot of other work I got to get to because I'm hitting the road, the airplane tomorrow. Yep. So I got a lot of shows. Now, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. is going to be the Madden Simulation Challenge. And nobody's going to be injured. Everybody's playing because I ain't got nobody on the injury report other than John Feliciano. So they will be clear. Tune into the WayneBreezie channel, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 8 a.m. out there on the West Coast. So if you want to wake up early, grab your cup of Joe, join me. It's going to be morning. I don't really say a lot of bad words in the morning, but it's Madden, so who knows what's going to happen. And I realized I could just use... I don't even gotta mimic the word. You'll know what that means. All right.
Yes.
Peachy, any final thoughts on what's your fantasy? We're gonna dip on up out of here.
Thank you for tuning in the chat, popping as always, and thank you for all of your amazing questions. You truly do make the show, and we really appreciate it. And again, I just want to stress for everyone's safety as they travel to Cali and back. And let's just whip some cowgirl.
Got you. I didn't know where you was going, but when it hit me, so it's like you said it, and then it went in my ear, and it had to register in his brain, and then I hit the button.
Right.
I was there. I was ready. I just wasn't ready. I didn't know she was going to do that. Let's whip some cowgirls' butt. It's a butt whipping. You know what's going to happen on Sunday? We're going to commence the whipping. That's what's gonna happen.
That's right.
And I was sitting at the barbershop. Barbershop talk is the best talk. Well, you might not know that, but barbershop talk is the greatest talk. And one of the dudes in the barbershop was just like, yo, y'all gonna whip they. And I'm like, yo, you know what? I don't want to sound like my chest is too poked out, but I feel exactly the way you feel.
Telling you.
Just because it's the Dallas Cowboys.
Right. And like Miss Deb said, no fighting in the stands, please.
No fighting in the stands, please. All right? No fighting. Listen, make sure you guys get y'all lineups right. Pay attention to any injury news or updates that may happen. You do not want to be stuck with a person in your lineup and they decide they're no-go. But right now, everybody that we talked about should be clear to go.
Right.
If Cooper Kupp is inactive, if Cooper Kupp is active, please take him off your IR. Get that young fella in your line up.
Oh, one thing I forgot about that's real important. The Browns do have a bye week this week. Don't be surprised if Deshaun Watson is not the quarterback when they come out of their bye week.
Why? What the?
Because apparently his teammates are
upsetting him and some of the coaches because he told them that he was going to play and everything was all good. And then at the very last minute, he told them that.
Well, this is how dumb the Browns are, because if they want to go out there and did you see what DTR did? Absolutely.
I'm just saying.
That would be please, Browns, please put DTR in there, please. They wasn't winning with freaking, their defense is great. Please, this will wear the defense out. We play them in a couple of weeks.
I know,
please start DTR. But you know what they'll do? They'll put DTR out there for the next couple of weeks.
Right.
And then
when we play, it'll be what?
Apologize for all the words. Guys, we getting up out of here. I hope you love the hour of What's Your Fantasy. Till next week, people. We love y'all. Stay up, man. We out. Hey, look. Ruining dreams under pressure. Peachy B the one to bless ya, but don't test her. The queen reigns supreme. You know what I mean? Add the boy Breezie Prince like a king. When the two come together in any weather, they form a bond, stay tight in any measure. So it's my pleasure. The number one team. Let the world know what's your fantasy.